As I share with you this afternoon, my childhood memories take me back to my mother's cautionary statements. If you do good, you do it for yourself. And if you do bad, you do it for yourself too. In those few lines lies the greatest lessons of humanity's interconnection. To the Abokagriess family, this statement is true and tested. In 2005, my mother added the role of taking care of an almost dying baby Leah to her already demanding responsibility of taking care of 7 children single-handed as a widow. I still remember the day Leah's dad handed her to my mom. Leah's dad said, "I didn't know where else to go, so I came to you first." Leah was so sick and frail that one could count every bone on her body. One thing that stuck with me to date is that my mom decided to make Leah involved in our family. Where society saw a child that was too sick to live, my mom saw a child that could grow and become part of a diverse society. Today, Leah is a teenage girl experiencing life just like any other child. For clarity, Leah's family and mine are not in any way related, but my mom took the voluntary responsibility of walking over 25 kilometers every day, seeking medical opinions for Leah, attending monthly clinics, administering her medication, cooking her special meal, cleaning and massaging her, playing with her and making her feel the warmth and love of a mother, even though her real mother died as soon as Leah was born. Mama took care of Leah because Leah could one day take care of other children. That is just how far our human connection can go. It is this selflessness inspired by human connectivity that will compel me years later to start Hope Africa Foundation in Kisumu, Kenya, where we reach out to street children with food and clothing aid. When I started this organization, I struggled with the understanding that a civilized society could leave defenseless children to live on the streets, eating from garbage pits, sleeping on the drainage system, and sometimes dying from treatable diseases like malaria, tetanus, and typhoid. According to 2018 census statistics in Kenya, we have over 400,000 street children, with 72% being boys and 27% being girls. As much as I applaud the global efforts directed towards girl education in Africa, these numbers show that more effort is needed to bring about balance and fairness. For that reason, I'm here today voicing out my fight of inclusion for all colors, all genders, and most importantly, all children. Because I'm convinced that by overlooking boy-child education in Africa, we are building a bridge for greater injustices that will underserve both the boy child and the girl child in the future. Imagine a future where all girls have attained university degrees, but boys haven't. Who will these boys become? Will they be thieves? Who will they steal from? Is it the same girls that we're all trying to give a brighter future to? By now, I hope that you all understand that discriminating against the boy child in any way will not lead us to a diversified and inclusive society, and that we can never achieve justice by simply redirecting injustices in other places. Coming to Canada in 2012 ushered me in a world that I never thought existed. I landed in a world where my capabilities were no longer about my brain nor skills, but about my odd foreign accent, my last name, and sadly enough, the largest organ of my body, my black, beautiful skin. Navigating my years in Canada, I recognized very fast that my black skin, that my parents taught me to love and appreciate, stood between me and my dreams. I had to use my Caucasian husband's last name on job applications because when I used my father's name, Aboka, the name that I'm so proud of, nobody called me back for interviews. This crushed my heart, my confidence, and my African identity. The road to finding a place of belonging has been long, tiresome, and pain-inflicting journey for myself, other Blacks, the indigenous, and the people of color in this country. Our only crime is mostly the color of our skin. What has come of our world that the dignity we ought to give our fellow humans is now served based on the color of the skin? I believe that our humanity is not ready to inherit this earth. Neither are we ready to usher the next generation into diverse, equitable, and inclusive society. But how could we, when our sociology academics still treat human suffering as an event that they can measure, create action plans for, fill out assessments for, and be convinced with the achieved targets, even if the desired change of the problem hasn't been met? How can we change this world for better when our economic think tanks still treat poverty as a matter of balancing books without considering financial disparities within our societies? How could we fight systemic racism and discrimination in our organizations when our own organizations seek mostly to hire the best of the best from the world's greatest universities, forgetting that in North America, it is the most privileged of this society who attend those institutions in large numbers? How will such graduates bring solution to discrimination they haven't experienced? How will individuals who have lived all their lives with perks of exclusivity found in the privileged bubble be our hope for eliminating systemic racism? Well, it is perfectly okay to hire from the best of the best. Let's consider the level of social awareness among our students and address it at a university learning level before organizations confuse their attendance of top universities for social responsibility and change that this world so desperately needs. My esteemed audience, as much as our humanity is still in love with tiers and positions, black and white skin, first class and low class, the idea of the rich and the poor, men and women, senior CEO and janitor, I'm sorry that we will never, ever reach the highest peak of diversity, equity, inclusion, or belonging. Our salvation as a humanity is dependent on the understanding that our diversity is also dependent on our uniformity. As we do our best to accept others for who they are, we must also have a uniformed and level playing field for all. Imagine a world where leadership is all about service, but not about the title, not the compensation attached to it. A world where the gap between the rich and the poor is completely sealed. A world where employment is about service to humanity and every individual in all levels of organization has no title other than a group of people creating positive impact in our society. A world where no voice fights to be heard because all are heard already. A world where culture and identity is celebrated without a care of who is superior to who. My brothers and sisters, beyond our skin color, we all bleed red, cry, smile, and laugh. But building a diverse and inclusive society will only be easier when we work together towards the greater good. When we all learn to love, to feel, to imagine other people's suffering, and to stand up and use our voices effectively and positively. I'm calling on you today because our ancestors sent me here to remind us all that they haven't gotten weary of us. They're urging us to leave behind the emptiness that we cling to and realize that regardless of the forces that have tried to separate us over millennia, we are all children of the same ancestry. Our ancestors are still calling upon us and hoping that one day we will gather under the baobab tree in Africa and dance to the tune of inclusivity and belonging. My friends, I leave this place today with a promise in my heart that I will do my part, because I know that if I do good to you, I do good to myself and to generations after me. I call on you to do the same. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to the world of interconnectivity, the future of our true diversity, inclusion, and belonging. Thank you very much.